America, which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And do roll call.
Justin?
Here.
Jamie? Jack?
Here.
Jessica? Matt?
Here.
Shy?
Here. Next item on the agenda is approval of minutes, council meeting July 9th, 2024. Does anybody have any questions about the minutes? If there's no questions, I'll just need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Jack makes a motion. I'll second.
Justin?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Shy?
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is open hearing for public comment. Does anybody got anything to say? Nobody have anything to say? I'll close open hearing. Next item on the agenda is new business. The ordinance rezoning lands, and the ordinance number 2024-16. I'll let Jay read that ordinance. Do we need to really make a motion to waive the free reading? If the council wants to make a motion to waive the free readings on these two ordinances, you can at this time.
The motion to suspend the rules for the ordinances that are to come before the council this evening.
I'll make that motion as Jay stated, please.
I'll second. That makes motion, Matt second.
Justin?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Shy?
Yes. Passes.
An ordinance rezoning certain lands within the city of Highfill and owned by Chansamone Hastings and for other purposes.
Jeremy, you want to come up here next? We can let them know where this is and what it is.
Evening, council. This land is what's left of the R ordinance final rezone property. It's located about 2,000 feet or so south of Aubrey Long Road along Highway 12. And I forget how many acres is there with it.
15.
Okay.
Looks like 15.
And this is the last of the rezone of the properties coming together.
And the reason they didn't bring us up last meeting is because they were doing a lot split. Is that correct?
They split off a little bit of the north side of it.
Council got any questions?
The R's here. Never met the man.
I'm not sure he lives in state.
And it did go before planning, last planning commission, and was recommended by planning.
Yeah, this is just the last piece of the property that DR is purchasing.
Zoning from what to what?
Be rural RR to never.
RN.
What the last plan.
Yep.
Yes, not that we make a motion to pass.
Just makes motion.
Second.
Check sevens.
Justin?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Shy?
Yes.
Thank you, councilors.
Thank you.
Next ordinance number 2024-17.
An ordinance submitting to the voters of the city of Highfill, Arkansas, the question of election of 2 aldermen from each ward to 4-year terms and for other purposes.
Now, the way I take this, Jay, this is a staggered. This will be staggered on
Presently, each alderman, each position is elected every 2 years. Arkansas law provides that the council may elect to submit to the voters a plan by which the alderman positions would be for 4-year terms. And the let's see, position 1 would be in a 4-year term commencing with November of 26. And at that point, there would be a 2-year term for the Ward 2, and after that, everything would stagger. Everyone would be on 4-year term with half the council up for election every 2 years.
We don't have a full rollover to council.
Got a couple questions. Do the citizens, this is to propose a resolution to offer this up to the citizens,
To vote.
and then they need to vote on it.
So yes, what we'd like to do is, if the council elects to proceed in this fashion, is see if we can get on the next general election, then the first election staggered terms, if it's approved by the voters, would be the November 2026 election, 2 years and 3 months from now.
And then what are the cities around us doing?
None of the bigger cities are on staggered terms. What is Gentry?
Gentry's staggered terms, I actually looked at their ordinance. They've been on staggered, they passed a similar ordinance in 2005.
We've been wanting to do this for a handful of years now, but we always forget about it time of year. I got asked the other day about it. And so that's what I'm bringing up to you guys, because I forgot about it again.
I think, from my perspective, I think it creates better continuity, because not, like you said, not everybody turns over all the time, so, or at the same time. So.
And like I said, it goes to the voters, and but, I mean, they're ultimately the ones who get to decide if they want that or not. If they don't, then so be it. But if they do, so be it. So if you guys want to send this to the voters and let them pick, then I just need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Sean Nixon.
Justin,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Shy,
Yes.
I would see if the mayor wants to ask the council to pass an emergency clause. Given the timing of the election, we need to get this to the election board right away. It's going to be on the next general election. So the emergency would be that an emergency exists by reason of the upcoming general election. It's therefore in the best interest of the citizens of Highfill for this matter to be effective immediately.
Need a motion for the emergency clause. I'll make a motion. Matt makes a motion. Second. Try seconds.
Justin,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Shy,
Yes.
All right, next item on the agenda is discussion for the firework ordinance. So me and Jeremy, you want to come up here? Me and Jeremy looked up some of this and this is just a base for us to talk about. Obviously, I want you guys to weigh in on this and see any changes you guys want. So first, we do want to allow selling of fireworks in the city. And June 20th, I think, is the state start date for everybody in the state to be able to sell fireworks. So that would be the day that we would start selling fireworks here in the city, allowing people. And then June 20th is also when you start shooting fireworks off. So from June 20th to June 30th, we put 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then from July 1st to July 3rd, from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And July 4th is from 8 to 11 p.m. 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. But then like this year, where the 4th, it rained. So a lot of people had to put off their fireworks to the 5th. Don't know if you guys want to put something in there to allow, people still shoot off on the 5th.
Is this only for July 4th time, not New Year's Eve, New Year's Day?
This is more for the residential neighborhoods. You know,
I guess I didn't realize there was like only certain times people can let do fireworks, like they have left.
well, like most of your cities, like Gentry, you can only shoot it like first through the fourth. I think, is that right, Jay? You know, what's that?
I didn't know there was a copy of it.
No, I just got it wrote down,
Oh.
a notepad. So every city has their own guidelines.
Okay.
So this is what our guidelines is. Like I said, I'm just throwing this stuff out here. It's whatever you guys want to do.
So without this ordinance, people just do whatever they want to do. So,
We already have an ordinance.
okay, thanks.
So I don't have it in front of us.
Yeah, it's nothing. You can't shoot fireworks or anything like that.
Or sell them.
Yeah,
So our current ordinance says people are allowed to do fireworks.
exactly.
Not just buy and sell, but actually shoot.
But with people in the subdivisions and stuff, watching the Woodward Hills, the Silver Meadows feeds, like we need to pass something to protect the people in the neighborhoods. Something's gotta be done because people are shooting off at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, it's keeping people up. You know, so something's gotta, allow Blake and the PD to have some teeth, which they've got the noise ordinance,
That's why it
but,
doesn't work.
No, we had an existing fireworks ordinance they could presently enforce.
we never did pass anything back when it got brought up last time. We asked for it to come back with, being able to sell fireworks on it, but it never got brought back up.
But once again, like this would not cover like New Year's Eve too. Shouldn't we do both in one swoop?
I would like to implement that.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, yeah, this is just ground, whatever you guys wanna put on it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm just
Just to cover fireworks.
Yeah,
If we have to, just specify separate dates of that. each.
yes, I mean, whatever dates you guys wanna put on there, this is, like I said, I just thrown out there just for the 4th of July. You know, if you wanna put New Year's Eve on there, then, yeah, that's,
Well, I think we should include New Year's Eve.
that,
I think that's, yeah, pretty good point. Let's try to get everything, the two, I guess the holidays that really, you see fireworks on, fireworks sales.
For sure, we're still gonna bring that under too. Around.
Labor Day?
People should-
I've
never seen Labor Day.
It was just Cincinnati.
New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve is much bigger than Labor Day.
yeah, I've always just seen the July 4th area, you know, the weekend stuff, leading up to New Year's Eve. You know, we've got wedding venues that shoot off more times, but they're classified a little differently. So I don't know if we need to word this to where, Jay, that's where you would come in. I don't know if it needs to be worded to where the venues would work under a different guideline there, or,
Maybe they could come in, ask city council for approval.
well, it shouldn't have to, I don't think they need to come in and ask us for approval or something they want to shoot for a wedding or something.
Maybe they just need to do sparklers.
The venue behind me, it lasts for about 4 or 5 minutes at the most.
Yeah.
That's stretching.
Yeah, and the one by me, about the same. I mean, and they're out in the middle of RR area, so it doesn't really affect any neighborhoods. And another option you guys have there, is to put these restrictions in the residential areas. You know, all the high density zoning, to where there's neighbors and stuff like that. I mean,
These are always active stricter codes on.
that's another option you guys can do as well.
Makes sense for the right city.
Yeah.
And do something.
Can we have the venues submit for a permit? No charges.
Yeah.
That's not included in the ordinance.
I mean, I don't see,
So we need to have that oversight, I guess, is what.
I mean, if,
Just so that they're not bound by the ordinance.
Right, clause in it, but it says things are excluded.
That work, I mean, that's fine.
Makes sense, like. That's not. I'm not.
you want to make it zoning specific on the fireworks,
I would say so. I think that's a smart way to go about this.
yeah,
Cause yeah, RR. We're not gonna really be affecting. No, it's no different, I think, than. When we're out in the country,
yeah.
you know, outside city limits. We're not everybody around us knows if we're gonna be shooting off fireworks.
Yeah. So, good. All right. You got them dates, Jay?
June 20 to June 30 until how late in the evening?
From 8 AM to 9 PM. Does that sound good to you guys?
July 1 to 3 was till 10 PM,
To 10 PM,
and July 4th is till midnight.
to 11. 9.
Doors, so that,
Yeah. 2 hours.
You want to put the 5th in there or?
In case of a rain out.
Could we not add something that, maybe not just say the 5th, but in the event of rain, the city may allow the day after?
Following Saturday. Good, whatever. It's never done, it may not be the 5th, maybe like this year, just like 20.
Yeah. Be,
3 rolls.
be up to Jay how to work that. We can have it. Think something better. And then New Year's Eve. Do you want the New Year's Eve and the, at least it's okay. Well, good. Anything else you guys want on there? Have you guys think of something between here and next meeting? Let me know. I can get with Jay and good, they can put it in there.
What's the enforcement on it? Is it fine or?
Blake, will you be able to answer that, Eddie?
So what normally would be, it's probably a $25 fine, the first offense, and then I don't know what Mr. Williams has put in there after that, but usually $25 to $50 is appropriate for something like that as far as a violation. It'd be similar to our parking ordinance violation fees. Obviously, the judge is gonna decide ultimately, but the ordinance is gonna give some sort of guidance on that. I would say for fireworks, $25 to $50 is up to $100 is probably maximum.
Do we need to include that in ordinance or is that? Like that for the judge?
I think our city code addresses what general violations, what the fine range can be. I'll double check and make sure.
Thanks, Blake. Anything else, council?
The only thing I might look at the ad was your aerial fireworks in these high density areas, like fireworks attached to sticks. I would probably restrict that in the more dense neighborhoods, like bottle rockets. Just for landing on rooftops. Just throwing that out there.
Just throwing that out there. I can't tell whether it's a bottle rocket or it's a Roman candle.
No, I'm just, no, and not us, just
Right. What did? Well, we can pass this ordinance, we can see how it works next year. Come back to it if we need to, if you need to. I mean, it's, you guys, I mean,
Right.
because you guys are the ones that live there, and that's, so I'm relying
So
heavily
you're
on.
trying to say like no, like bottle rockets or anything at
that's
all?
just me throwing out there. Say if somebody yard drives a bone, and you got a
Right.
rocket lands backwards, that's no fire.
I see that, but I mean, at the same time, I think fountains are gonna do the same thing if they set it off their yard.
But they don't go up, go to somebody else's yard.
Yeah,
That's just my thinking.
Order, do the same thing, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
anything that goes through the air.
that's just me thinking, maybe thinking too much. So,
But also, if it's that dry, and there's a burn ban, there will be no fireworks shop.
Right. So, that's something that I'm sure is gonna be in there if there is a burn.
Well, yeah, I mean, the county put over a burn ban in that.
Yeah,
so hopefully that's a no brainer that we don't have to put that in the order.
Uh,
Hey, if there's a
you know
burn ban,
what?
don't set off fireworks.
We also don't want to ruin anybody's fun.
Yes.
And limit what they can shoot.
right.
Party shots.
You guys good with what's there?
I think I'm good with what's there, and like I said, we can always, like I said, we can go back to it next year if we need to.
We can adjust.
Definitely tweak it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll bring that back up next council meeting for approval. Next item on the agenda is department reports. It's Cody on? Can Cody go real fast? Let Chief Wynn go. Chief, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. Good evening, City Council. I just had a couple talking points. And we had some miscommunication on the Cascade quote that I received. This is part of the funding that we got through the grant. You guys gave us the additional 15,000 for the $30,000 purchase for that Cascade unit. However, in the quote, there were some pieces of equipment that we need for that unit that were not included in the quote. The quote ended up coming out to be $41,850, and we are currently approved for the $30,000 total with the $15,000 matching grant. I'm requesting your guys' authorization to use Act 833 funds for that additional, I believe I put on that sheet, $12,000 to take up some of the extra there. So that Act 833 funding, I don't know if you're aware or not, that's state funding that we get strictly for fire service equipment or protective equipment. And if you guys have any questions, I'd do my best to answer them.
Cody, on the sheet, you got 13,000 on there for that. Is that the amount you need, or was it 12?
13 would be better. I'm sorry, I didn't have my department head report printed out in front of me.
Into 16,000.
Yeah, that's another one. You want to talk about your other request as well, Cody, out of that same account?
The other request is I believe I put $16,000 requested to use out of the Act 833. This is for wildland gear. So essentially, our firefighters don't have any lighter weight gear to fight wildland fires, so your grass fires, your brush fires, things like that. And the turnout gear is extremely hot in the summer months for us to be using. So the 16,000 that I'm requesting to use out of the Act 833 is supplemental to the fundraising that we've done with the chili supper and the chicken barbecue cook. The money that we've raised there will pay for just a little bit over half of it, and 16,000 out of the Act 833 would dress the remaining firefighters and that equipment.
I'm not familiar with Act 833. Is this money that state has already granted to us and we just haven't earmarked it through a budget process for anything to occur?
So Act 833 is, right now in that account, we've got 61,397, and it's a restricted account that the state only allows the fire department to spend certain monies on certain things. Like, you can only buy certain items out of this money.
Okay.
And wildland gear and stuff for a cascade system would be two of the items that you would be able to purchase out of that account. So every year, the fire department gets a check for, I think, $16,000.
Well, it ranges from year to year on how many departments actually applied for it. So if less departments apply for it, we actually receive more money. But typically, it's a quarterly check around $5,000 to $7,000 is typically what we've gotten in the past.
What's our normal process for deciding what we use that money for? Like, do we create a item list, a project list, or do we just come up with moments like this where we go, oh, let's use this money for that?
It's kind of it. Go ahead, Cody.
The state has their own restrictions on what the funds can be used for. So they have a list of certain different types of equipment or things that a department may need for using those funds. So that's kind of their way of, so that we don't just go out and spend it on something that's not useful. We can use it for things as far as training, purchases for fire equipment, which would fall under this cascade situation, gear. You can do some funding can be used for different station building, so building upgrades such, but they kind of have their own pre-existing list of what we can and can't use it for.
That's the part I'm understanding. I guess what I'm not quite clear on is how do we decide as a team or as you're running your team, like how you decide, oh, this money I'm getting, they can be 10 things I can spend it on. I want to spend it on these 3 things based on priorities we need for the fire department. I'm hearing the priorities right now. Like, was that the priority 3 weeks ago, or is that priority just because that's where we're at right now? Like, how are we making decisions on how to spend this money?
So I believe what he's wanting, Cody, is the Cascade system. They didn't get the correct quote from the company that they were requesting. So when he come out last month and he asked you guys for the $15,000, in all reality, it should have been for 28,000 extra total of what he would need it on top of the 15 to purchase the Cascade system. So he didn't get the right quote for that. The wildland gear, like I said, they done the barbecue and the chili supper, and to be able to suit the whole fire department up, they're being able to, they use all them monies from the fundraisers to pay for most of the gear. They just need this for the remainder of the gear. This is stuff that he's had on his list. If you've seen you remember on the list he had last year that he presented at budget time, these are things that he had on his list that he was working towards.
Got it. So this is part of the annual budget process. One thing's just over budget than what he thought, so he wants to use his money for it. The other one was already on his list, and this was always his plan to use this money to pay for it.
Yeah, so the Active 33 account allows him not to really, he's not adding no money to the city's budget. This money is in a restricted account that only can be used for certain things.
All in. Balance.
Okay.
Now we have to say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
If there's it's not like I guess, how are we voting on this?
You just
Resolution, right?
Yeah, you just make the motion to grant the approval of the expenditure of the both items, 16,000 and 13,000.
Anybody else have any more questions?
I have none.
It's me. All right, well, I'll make a motion that we approve the chief's request for both item 2 and item 3, $16,000, $13,000 from Act 33 to cover the expenses it's looking to cover. On that.
No, second motion.
Just next motion, Jack, second.
Justin,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Shy,
Yes.
Chief, you got anything else, Cody?
No, thank you, council.
Thanks, Chief. Chief Webb?
Good evening. I just wanted to just update everybody on a few things. The fencing project is gaining momentum. We're almost to the actual fence now, so hopefully that'll be finished within the week. It's been kind of a process trying to get that all done, asphalt and a few headaches, but it's going well. It should be exactly spec'd like we wanted it to be, so it should be adequate for everything we need. Better National Night Out, so I know some of you went to that, so that was real successful. We had, I would say, well over 300, closer to 350 as far as attendance goes. Lots of good feedback from that event. Our sponsors were amazing in helping make that possible. There were a lot of things provided by the community. I mean, it was a completely free event, so that was very nice to be a part of that. As a law enforcement officer, we don't get many opportunities to interact with the public in a positive way, or at least the ways that we did that night. And it definitely makes an impact, and we see a benefit from it. So I thank you guys for supporting that and for our sponsors on that. The should have an end of the year report coming as far as sometime in November is what I'm thinking, to kind of give you a snapshot of how progress is going as far as law enforcement services that are being provided and our abilities to provide those services in the ways that we are currently providing them with the staffing needs that we may have in the near future. So be looking for that soon, and I'm working hard on that. Everybody at the PD is doing well. We have one person in the police academy right now, and we have a couple new part-time officers that are replacing some staff that left us. So all is well in our world, and I appreciate you guys and look forward to working the end of the year with you. So thanks.
Like on what Justin asked a while back about people order stuff on the internet and an internet safe meeting place.
Oh, yeah, I got the signs made for that. Oh, great, yeah, I did.
There's nothing we need to do, as far as to allow that, WJ, is just put the signs in.
Yeah, so it's gonna be on the public parking side, so on the outside of the fence, and it'll be right there in the camera view. We're adding 3 or 4 additional cameras to our current setup, so it'll be adequate and, yeah.
That'll allow people to, if they order stuff on the internet to show up and they can feel safe,
Yeah.
meet somebody they don't have a clue who they are.
Justin brought that to my attention, and I've seen it other places, but he brought to my attention the other day that we should do that, and I said, I've been thinking about that for several years, and so I think it's a good opportunity for us to be able to welcome additional people to come to our facility and our property to do something, especially now that we have a secure area for our guys to be in and that they can access. So it's gonna be good for everybody. We'll get those posted once the fence is complete, so it should be really good for the public to have that access as well. So anything else people's got? That's, yeah.
Thanks, Chief. Dustin, you got anything?
I don't know. I did have a late addition that did not make it to the council packet. It's printed off in front of you guys. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer.
So last year, I remember, you guys remember me telling you that we're gonna explore a USDA loan for water improvements. So Tim and with ESI, we're hoping we'll be here next month to explain and show you what needs to happen to our system. Sooner than later, some of it. And we'll on the stuff that needs to be sooner than later, hopefully I'll have a plan to you of how we do that sooner than later, first part of it. And then we'll just need approval from you guys, if you guys are in agreement with it, for them to start the process. We're at the point of the USDA loan now to where the council approval needs to be approved to carry the project farther. So hopefully we'll have something for you guys next month on that, if everything is ready to go. Anything else out on that, Dustin?
No, sir.
I had a comment, so I want to tell Dustin, you guys, feedback on ESI and Kirk's, I have any landowners in the process of this line is being picked up back, and nothing but professionalism and care for my own property that's not their property as they're going through and destroying pieces of it. But they're also coming back and just treating everything with respect, and I just appreciate these 2 companies and how you guys are managing with them and everything. It's been a good process despite all the landscape going on. So
Thank you, sir.
yeah. Let you know that.
Thanks, Justin.
Yep.
Next time on the agenda is the financial report for the month of July, 2024. Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns about the financial? With no questions or concerns, I just need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial report.
Jack makes a motion.
I'll second it.
Justin,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Shy,
Yes.
Next on the agenda is community events. So the farmers market's going on City Park every Saturday, 8 a.m. to noon. Arbor Day fall tree giveaway. We're still waiting on a delivery date to be able to say when that will be. Hopefully we'll have something for you by next meeting. Fall Festival, Saturday, October 12th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then the Christmas in the Park, Friday, December 6th, the lighting of the park at 5:30. I am working I've secured a person that sells hot dogs, so I'm working, we'll try to get donations to be able to give away the first 100 hot dogs to everybody that comes up, so people can have, hot dogs, chips, or water, hot cocoa, and or coffee if they choose to. So hopefully I should be able to get, I've been hit some businesses up, so I got some traction there, which I think is gonna happen. It's only, I think, $500 or something for the hot dog cart to come up and do that for the first 100 hot dogs. So hopefully we get some more people coming to our park and seeing the Christmas and make something more. It's a free event for the families, with their kids. So we'll get that done, and that'll be something good there as well. And the mayor's reports. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Tiffany.
All right. So the First Baptist Church, they went ahead and scheduled a block party in our park for September 7th. It's gonna be a free event for the community.
That'd be awesome. Be good. Baptist Church is doing a lot of good things, to help make things free as well, which I think is really good. We got a lot of good comments on the fireworks they did, on the Facebook comments of people saying, hey, go to Highfill's fireworks and it doesn't cost you normally to take the kids out there. And this time of day, everything's so expensive. Every little bit helps. So I don't have anything on the mayor's report. We talked about everything there. This council got anything?
The subdivision's going on in Mason Valley. I think we talked about barn last time, but do we have plans, or how do we go about looking at expanding Mason Valley? Because with the 2 additional subdivisions, it's gonna be.
So with the 2 additional subdivisions on the west side, they will be expanding their part that they're liable for. So the west side of Mason Valley will be expanded.
Okay.
A certain, however many feet that artery road call, or that every one of our streets are broke down into arteries, thoroughfares, and our ordinances call for how wide each road has to be in certain areas. So I think they're adding 4 foot, 4 or 5 foot, something like that. Don't give me the line, but some 4 foot to the west side of Mason Valley.
Does that equal another lane? Or?
Well, so not right now. So when the other side develops up, it won't equal another lane at that point either. But when the city redoes the roads and makes it wider in the future, it will. If that makes sense. Kind of not a good, I mean, it's how our city codes are wrote right now. We're just following everything that's on the codes as far as how much of the street they have to widen when they develop in certain areas.
And then how do we evaluate when a road needs to be widened outside of the neighborhoods, or the developers widening them?
Traffic count.
So in other words, we'll put in the houses, everybody will move in. It's gonna be somewhat of a nightmare for a few months, a year, et cetera. At that point, we'll evaluate it and then put in works in place to.
Well, so what do you want on, I guess, what do you want on Mexican Valley?
I mean, I think we're in the same boat, probably need 2 lanes. In each direction,
So 4-lane road.
4 lane, or at least 2 lanes going one way. Again, I know, those subdivisions were approved for prior administrations, but I think we need to be cognizant of the fact that we'll have, I think, close to 500-600 units going in. That's a lot of families,
Yeah.
a lot of cars.
And maybe it just have to go off the traffic study, Shies. I mean, because I don't know how to I just look at what, say, Highway 12 runs. How many cars we run a day out here?
9,000.
9,000 cars a day on Highway 12. So I don't know how a traffic study goes. I mean, that's what we have to do in theory, is do a traffic study to see what that would call for. Does that make sense?
So for future subdivisions that are gonna go in, ask for approval, are we gonna ask them to perform a traffic study or projection ahead of time so that we don't have those issues?
So like BR is doing a traffic study for all theirs. So
Okay.
yes.
And then depending if that traffic study comes out and says this needs to be a bigger road,
Yes.
then at that point.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, there's still lots of parts of our code that we have to bring up to date. That's also what this committee that Justin, myself, Wayne are on, that we're trying to do. I mean, it's stuff that's not gonna happen overnight, unfortunately. But we're hoping to come back, and we're meeting with actually a planner lady that will help us, maybe hopefully give us some guidance on Wednesday. You know, so we're working on all that stuff. It's just, I mean, I know it's slow and, there's no, but we are working.
Yeah, and by no means, it's not a criticism.
Oh,
I
I
know
know.
some of this was inherited. Justin, no, you were doing some good work and appreciate your support in that. It just, again, it's a reality that we're gonna pretty quickly have to.
Yes, yeah. I mean, Mason Valley and Bond Road, like only half of Bond Road is ours. So I mean,
Right.
there's only so much we can do to it, but Mason Valley is gonna have to have something done to it. You know, and where Silver Meadows and Woodward Hills are, we're kind of limited there because unless we go in and buy houses out. I mean, we really can't widen the roads too much.
Yep.
You know, so that, I mean, something's gonna have to happen. And trust me, every time a subdivision goes in up there, we're looking at all that, trying to make different access ins and outs and stuff. And that's why every subdivision now, to future subdivisions, there's always going to be a road that runs all the way through both north, south, east, and west. It's not just going to be, you go on that subdivision, it's just dead end. You have another subdivision that's right on the backside of this house you can't get to, you have to drive all the way around. I don't agree with that. You gotta be able to, helps alleviate a little bit of traffic by being able to go through something. So, but yeah, we're working on it. It's slow.
We'll wait for Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the master plan goes beyond, we seem to talk a lot about zoning as the master plan, but it's beyond just the zone. It's also what's the master plan for the roads, what's the master plan for the rest of the infrastructure that goes along with the zone.
And some of our roads aren't designated correctly either. Like Mason Valley should be a artery because it's going to be a major collector. And it already is. It's not listed as that right now. So a lot of the stuff just needs to be updated where we're seeing our growth now, and it'll have to be updated again in 5 more years, and then in 5 more years after that. So we're just trying to do the necessary right now. So it's just, we'll hopefully have something sooner than later.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shai. Good question. Any council got anything else? All right, I just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Yeah, thanks, motion. I'll second.
Justin,
Yes.
Jack,
Yeah.
Matt,
Yes.
Shy.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody, for coming.